do Butantã, no museu que tem as serpentes lá.
Então você foi procurar terceiros para apresentar.
Eu não procurei
total.
Não, eu acabei de abrir o celular e vi o negócio.
Quando ele foi no banheiro, foi fazer
Mandou
isso.
mensagem, alguém me ajuda,
Eu
pelo amor de
deixei o
Deus, você não tem
celular
argumento.
aqui!
Certeza.
Eu
Sentou ali e falou, pelo amor de
aqui.
Deus, aquele gordo tá ganhando de mim.
Olha aqui,
o
ó.
debate.
Não, ó. Não é nem isso, ó. Faz tempo que ela mandou a mensagem, ó. Ah, seu amigo não sabe o que está falando sobre o zoológico. O zoológico de São Paulo tem mais de 1 milhão de visitas por ano e não é só escola. E o zoo tá cobrando R$70 o ingresso. Aí ela fala do Museu do Butantã. Ela falou, no Museu do Butantã, mais de 120 mil por ano naquele espaço minúsculo. Que é pequeno, não sei se você se lembra.
Mas museu, sim.
O Museu do Butantã a gente chama de museu, mas é onde estão as cobras vivas lá, que o pessoal... Cobra, as aranhas, etc e tal. Aí fala assim, ó, tem várias normativas hoje sobre bem-estar animal em zoológicos e a aprendizagem acontece de forma mais efetiva quando tem sim a presença do animal. Réplica não é a mesma coisa. Comportamento humano... assim, você não pode usar o comportamento humano para justificar que o bicho tá triste. Não dá para fazer isso. E tem várias orientações sobre bem-estar. Os recintos são feitos de tamanho de acordo com normativos. E que tem pesquisas que indicam, estamos fazendo, inclusive, uma pesquisa sobre isso no Museu do Butantã, levantando dados sobre indícios da aprendizagem quando da presença e da ausência do animal nas atividades educativas, né, do bicho de verdade ali e não de uma réplica, como sendo algo que seja mais eficiente.
Pensei que fosse acabar assim, seu merda.
Seu gordo.
Não.
Não, tá ótimo. Tá
É
bom.
isso.
Tá bom.
Ô, Pirula.
A sua cara de sarcasmo é ótima.
Cara de sarcasmo.
A sua cara de tipo,
Tá bom.
coitada.
Não é coitada. Não,
Foi a cara que você fez.
Não é
Mas
esse
isso é uma
ponto.
característica de cientista.
Você fez cara de
velho.
coitada.
Não fiz cara de
Cientista
coitada.
tem essa marra aí, ó. Cientista tem...
É que eu não quero estender esse assunto de novo.
Tá.
É só isso. 1 milhão de pessoas por um ano são 80 mil pessoas por mês, certo?
Sim.
80 mil pessoas por mês numa cidade de 15 milhões de habitantes.
Tudo bem, não, aí é outra questão.
Irrelevante, mas tudo bem, tá tudo certo. Tá bom. Chega. Olha lá, ó. Eu vou obedecer quem manda. Parei. Chega.
Tá bom. Pirula, Emílio, obrigado demais por virem aí. Pirula, vou começar por você. Fala aí tuas redes sociais, o que você gostaria que as pessoas encontrassem na internet.
Assess if someone's serious. What is it that I can help them? If it's something that I can definitely help them, then I bring them on and we kind of plan out, a 30, 60, 90 day game plan of what we need to do and then kind of go from there. So
what do you typically charge?
Just real quick, there was one quick point of clarification I wanted. Did you say you helped them through because of your journey?
So what I've gone through, like life, I guess, I've been through a lot of different things, and I feel like social media, I've helped a lot of women through being open and vulnerable with everything that I go through. So it's more so advice for women. So it's a safe space for women that they can come. I don't know if you can say DV, domestic violence.
And you teach them accountability. You said that.
Depends what they're needing. So it honestly depends on what they need. Whether if it's a relationship. So I have a couple of girls that are going through relationships that are kind of stuck, or some that are trying to figure out what they want to do with their next steps of life. So honestly, it depends. So I'm there for whatever they need, and if it's something that I truly think that I can help them with, then I take them on. If I can't, then I don't. I kind of give them the advice that I can, or maybe give them. Refer them to other people that I may know in the business, but it's still pretty brand new, so I'm still honing it in, but it's exciting because it's been something that I've been doing on social media basically for free, because I say my passion is people. As makeup artists, I love to make women feel beautiful and have their inner and outer beauty match, and so when I'm able to do that, as I said, people are my passion, and helping change the world is my mission, being the best version of themselves. So, I don't know, it's kind of a fun adventure. I don't know the answers yet. It's Andrew, right? We don't know them yet, but we're
Yeah,
figuring
it's
them out as
Andrew.
we go. So we're figuring them out as we go.
So it's an adventure.
It is
a
an
journey.
adventure. It's an adventure
Yeah.
of growth together. I think that's a thing that, as a perfectionist, I usually have a tendency to perfect things before I start them. So this one, I'm like, you know what? We're going to start it and we're going to perfect it as I grow. I'm going to grow as a coach, and my clients are going to help me grow. So it's an exciting adventure to see where it goes.
All right. Well, good luck with the exciting adventure.
Thank you.
How much do you typically charge for a session or whatever?
Well, right now I'm kind of doing more consults. Like I'll do like 15, 30 minute, just like phone call for free. And then just depends on what they need. So before I was charging $250 for like an hour session to sit down. So it just depends what the program is. But for typically what I have it now, it's like a 90-day kind of coaching for $1,500. So it includes, weekly Zoom calls. They have access to me through text. So I'm basically available to them at all times, but they have that once a week call. If they need more than that, then they can reach out. So yeah.
And then I have here in my notes that you have an OnlyFans for makeup.
I
Is that-
had one.
Not
one.
anymore, though.
No.
Okay. And you were just posting
I was posting
makeup stuff on
So
OF?
during the lockdown, I think when they were trying to steer away from the sex work, they reached out for makeup artists, hairstylists. So they were the one that actually reached out to me. They made a promo video for me. So they promoted the makeup, the hair, fitness enthusiasts. So what I was doing is posting
Wait,
makeup.
when you say they, are you talking
OnlyFans?
about OnlyFans corporate or some like third
No, corporate.
party?
Corporate
It was
reached
the
out-
corporate.
yeah.
Okay.
So they made a promo video for me for makeup, hair. I think it's still on Twitter if you go look for it. But and then I would post sexy photo shoots too that I have.
You have Twitter? What is it?
I think it's _forever untamed. I'm very bad at that.
I might have already.
I just walked into something. Dun dun dun.
All right, I'll see what kind of dirt I can find. Well,
That's
okay,
not
I didn't
good.
find anything. But all right, moving on. What about you?
My name is Summer. I'm an educational speaker as well as a model, and I love to be in films, short films, and I really love what she's doing. I feel like me and my twin sister are on a similar path where we empower people to be their better selves, and through the education and knowledge that I've learned throughout my life as well as in my culture and history, that I like to empower people and educate them on how to become their best self.
Sure. Can I have you? Laptop came out of nowhere. Can I have you tilt your mic down just a little bit?
Yes, is this better?
Perfect.
Okay.
Age?
I'm 24.
24. All right. Any history of OF or anything like that?
No.
Okay. What about you?
Well, me and my sister were called the Severa twins, but my name is Sarah. We live in Los Angeles, California. We are models in LA, but we are young entrepreneurs as well. We just launched our new clothing brand, Severa, and then we also are educational speakers as well. So, and we were 24,
I'm
30
imagining
seconds older.
you guys are twins, so
30
age
seconds older.
Age would be the same. Okay, both 24. When you say educational speaker, what do you?
So when we go on different platforms, we tend to love to talk about things that are factually educational for the community and also just the world. Like, there's just a lot of people spreading false education in the world and a lot of like fake mentorship and motivation. So I just like to go off of a factual basis and just statistically prove a point with like pure knowledge. And I think that the world is going the opposite direction, so I think it's necessary.
Okay. All right. What about you?
Hi, I'm Janara. I'm 19. I'm from Fullerton, California. I attend Cal State Fullerton as a business major, concentrating in accounting, and I'm also a party promoter.
Party promoter. Okay. And are you in a sorority?
No,
Do they have Greek orgs at? You
They
said
do.
Cal State Fullerton?
Cal
or-
State Fullerton, yeah, but
Okay.
I don't do that.
And you're a party promoter. Is that? I'm assuming that's in Fullerton, or?
Yeah, it's
okay.
like just a little side hustle.
Okay. And so, does that involve you also going to the parties and
Yes.
partying? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. How long you been doing that for?
I think like about half a year now.
Half a year. Okay. And you're going into your junior year or sophomore year?
Sophomore.
Sophomore. Got it. What about you?
I'm Sam. I'm 22 years old. I'm from Boise, Idaho, and I'm a licensed esthetician.
All right. Idaho. Have you always lived there?
I grew up mostly in Salt Lake City, lived in Alaska for a few years, and then I moved back to Boise when I was 17.
All right. Okay. I think you might be our first. Have we had somebody from Idaho before?
I think you have. I saw one girl
Keeping
on
tabs?
one episode, yeah.
Okay, not the first, but okay, cool. What about you?
My name's Naomi. I am also from Boise, Idaho. I'm 27, and I own a salon.
All right, you guys work together?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're sisters.
Oh, and related. Okay, and sisters. All right. And okay, and what about you?
My name's Liz. I live in Ventura County, and I own a car wrapping business.
Oh, age?
25.
25. You own a car wrapping business. Do you do the actual wrapping yourself, or do you have like
Everything.
You do everything?
We take like the bumpers off, the door handles, the mirror caps, etc. Redo everything. It's not just wraps, though.
You actually take the bumpers off yourself?
Yeah, I'm big
Like
into
you,
cars.
personally?
Yes.
Okay.
I refuse to take off any bumpers or anything on like McLarens and stuff like that because I don't want that liability on my business. So I hire that out. But for like Beamers, Mercedes, daily vehicles, I'll do all that.
All right, cool. Are you in school at all, or?
No.
In school. All right, Andrew. What about you?
My name is Andrew Wilson. I'm the host of The Crucible. It is, to my knowledge, the fastest growing debate channel on YouTube. I'm a political analyst, a political satirist, and occasionally like to engage in debates.
All right, welcome, Andrew. Welcome, everybody. Going around the table once more, what is everybody's current relationship status? So, are you single, talking stage, situationship, friends with benefits, relationship, married, polycule, sex, cult, harem, whatever it may be? If you're single, how long have you been single? And what's the longest relationship you've ever been in? Starting with you, go ahead.
So I'm currently married. Longest relationship I've ever been in was 8 years.
Is that your marriage, or?
No.
Okay. How long have you been married?
Married for 2 years, but
Together.
I've been with them for 5 now.
All right. Any kids?
Congratulations.
No kids, but we have about 20 dogs.
20 dogs. Whoa.
And a hairless cat.
Like an animal sanctuary, or?
My husband's a TV host for a dog show on CBS.
He's a TV host for a dog show on CBS. What's it called? Have we heard of it?
Lucky Dog.
Haven't heard of it, but very cool, very cool. What about you? Wait, is he like a dog whisperer? Like, is he a dog trainer?
Yeah, he does dog training. We do service. I just snuggle the dogs, but he does service dogs. He also has a master class for dog training.
Does he like correct dogs that behave really poorly?
Yes.
Like he'll get them in line or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you?
I am currently single. I have been for about 3 years now. My first relationship, I've only ever had one boyfriend, and we dated for about 2 to 3 years. If you ask him, he might say something different, but we were together for a very long time. And that's
Wait, he might. What do you mean he might say something different?
Because we broke up with each other, and then he moved on, and I still liked him, but he would still like make me feel wanted almost. So it was hard for me to move on for a very long time. So I feel like we were still together even though we broke up, but on his part, I think he had a new girlfriend, probably 5 girlfriends. I don't know.
What? There's this Mitch Hedberg joke. It goes something along the lines of, "I don't have a girlfriend, but I know a girl who'd be mad at me if she heard me say that." Yes. I think I think I got it about right. But in any case, so you were more so in the relationship than he was?
Yes.
Okay. And it was 2 to 3 years, on again, off again, kind of?
Yes.
How many times was it off and on?
I would say about 5 major times.
5 major times?
Yeah.
What about the minors? Minor leagues?
Maybe like 10, but it was only for like 5 minutes. And we were like, okay, I love you, sorry.
Okay. And so more often than not, who was initiating the off?
It was always me because he would want to text other women in front of me or talk to other women in front of me, so I would break up with him, and I would break up with him every single time, but then I would also be the one to pull us back together.
So you would break up with him, but then also reach back out to get... Yeah. And so was he upfront with you? I mean, you had knowledge of it, so...
He was very upfront. If I were to ask him, like, are you cheating on me? He would just tell me, like, yeah. Like, it would take him a while to get the final answer, but when he finally would tell me, he would tell me exactly what happened and why. I don't want to name his name, but he was adopted, and so he would always give me the same excuse and tell me that, like, he's looking for his mom and a woman, and I would have to deal with that. Yeah, I was dealing with that for a very long time.
Looking for his mom and multiple women,
yeah.
Sounds like. And so, okay. So, but, I mean, was he upfront with you that he didn't want monogamy? He didn't want commitment?
No, he was very much like, you cannot be with anyone else, but I'm going to be with other people.
Oh, well, he was upfront about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And were you with other people?
When we would break up.
Okay. But so if he was upfront with you that he was going to be seeing other girls, was it really cheating?
It was cheating because
but
we
he
were
told
in
you,
a relationship.
Right, you were in a relationship where he could see other women and you couldn't see other men.
It wasn't like I allowed him to. It was just that he was expressing to me what he was doing because I knew that something wasn't right.
Well, okay. Did you guys at any point have an actual overt conversation about, hey, this is exclusive, we're not seeing other people?
Yes, we had that conversation multiple times,
but you said that he was going to be seeing other girls and he wanted you to just be seeing him.
Stick around, yeah. It was because he had a lot of personal issues. So he was literally looking for a mother figure in any woman that he could be with. So it was like he was holding on to me because he knew that's where his heart lied, but he was also looking for more of himself in other women.
I see. Okay. But he was upfront with you that this was... He was seeing other women, right?
Yes, he was upfront with me.
And you would break
and
up with him,
but I dealt with it. Okay, yes, okay.
So is it,
I dealt with it because I
cheating?
loved him, and it was cheating because I loved him. So.
But if you loved him, but if he told you, I'm down to see you, but I want this to be like essentially an open relationship.
I mean, that's as farther along as we got, that's more of what it turned into. Like exactly what you said, it did not start off like that. It traveled to that more and more. So when it did get to that point, that's when I finally pulled back because he was expressing like, I'm going to be with other people.
Right, but you said each time you broke up with him was because he was involved with another woman, but then despite knowing that he would be involved with other women, you would accept him.
Yes, because
you not even accept him back. You would go back to him.
I felt like he was the
What's
only
up,
person who would love me.
Nick? Oh, okay.
I felt like he was the only person who would love me, and I am very much attached to someone who I've become comfortable with. It's hard for me to readjust to people, so that's why I would deal with it, because I didn't want to have to readjust to someone else.
Right. But I mean, if he kind of set, and I'm not saying that I agree with the kind of arrangement that he had going on, but if he tells you, I'm going to be seeing other women, and then you break up with him, but then you go back to him without some sort of ultimatum of, you can't do that anymore, just by virtue of you reaching back out to him would seem to indicate to, at least to him, that you are willing to be in a relationship with him despite his, I don't even categorize it as cheating, but despite him seeing other women.
Yes, I was willing to be with him.
So it wasn't cheating then?
It was.
Right, but if you, okay, so you would have to, there would have to be an establishment that he wouldn't, for you to continue seeing him, he can't see other girls. But you'd go back to him despite his representations
I feel like that's
to you.
the establishment when you become in a relationship with someone. When you become in a relationship, you establish that you're only going to be with that person. So I'm trying to like break up with him because he wants to be with other people, but I also love him, so I go back to him and I'm like, we can't do this anymore. He would agree with me, he would be honest to me about what happened, but then he would keep doing it. He would continue to do it. So it wasn't like, well, honestly, yes, I do know what I was getting myself into, but I also feel like I was hoping for the best at the same time.
I don't think he was cheating. He told you. He told you. It's like, but what do you expect? You break up with him, but then you go back to him. But he's already communicated to you that he's going to be sleeping with other chicks. So by you going back to him, that's essentially you accepting his terms.
Yes.
If he was if he was reaching back out to you, he's like, babe, I'm sorry, let's be together, let's be monogamous, and then he did it, that's one thing. But you going back to him, I imagine it wasn't there wasn't a ultimatum where, well, you're reaching back out to him, but I'll only get back with you if you're not sleeping with other girls.
That was sort of the conversation, but at the same time, I was more focused on being back with him than what he was doing, because the type of person I am, I really don't, I know this sounds bad, but being with other people wasn't my main focus. As long as he was able to be there for me when I needed him and able to understand the things that I couldn't communicate to anyone else, that was the main focus for me. So being able to have a person that I can express those things with was the main focus. So I was mentally draining myself, tuning out the cheating and making it seem like it wasn't a big issue when it really was.
Okay, we can come back to some of that later. I noticed you have a tattoo here that says the real brat.
Oh, real brat.
A real brat.
A real brat. My name is Azira, but I am a big brat. I also am very real. I'm the realest in red. I'm not sexy red. I'm the sexiest red. Thank you very much. And so altogether, it's a real brat.
A real brat.
A real brat. I am a real brat.
What's a fake brat? Is there a fake brat?
Is someone
not
who,
actually a brat, but you pretend to be?
A brat is being able to get your way and not putting up with anything else. A fake brat is someone who acts like they're getting their way, but they're not.
Wait,
I am getting my way.
A real brat is, well, you didn't get your way with your ex-boyfriend.
And I left it alone, and I'm hoping better for the future. After a long 3-4 years, yes, okay. I finally left it alone. And my real bratness in me is not looking for anyone right now. And I feel like that's what makes me a real brat too, because I'm focused on getting what I want and not letting anyone stop me.
All right. And how long have you been single?
For about 2 years, I would say. It depends on when you consider that we broke up. So.
When's the last time you saw that guy?
Yesterday. She's like last night.
About 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh, whoops. Hold on. I didn't mean to press that one. Wait, so hold on. You said you've been single for 2 years, but you saw this guy as recently as two weeks ago?
2-3 weeks ago.
2-3.
Two.
And was there carnal knowledge involved in this visit?
Was there carnal knowledge?
What does that mean?
Carnal knowledge, sexual intercourse.
Oh no.
P in the V.
No, we have not. We actually haven't done anything physical since about 2 years. That's kind of when I consider that we broke up. It was when I first went to college.
Nothing physical.
Nothing physical.
But you have.
So what do you guys do? Just meet up and go to Baskin Robbins and have ice cream?
No, that's not what we do. His mother is very much a great friend of mine, also like a second mom to me. And so every single time they have a family event or a graduation, or his sister recently had a baby, I'm always invited. So I find myself with his family a lot, and that's why I've seen him recently.
Okay. So before it was a family get together, or?
Yeah, it was his little brother's graduation from high school.
Wait, his little brother's graduation from high school?
Yes.
And your family is involved? Your family's involved now, or?
No, I'm close friends with his whole family, so they invite me to everything. That's why I've seen him so recently.
I see. Okay. You didn't hook up 2 to 3 weeks ago.
No, we very much didn't. I wish we did because I love him so much, but he's so upset the way our relationship went, and he blames me for everything. So that's why I had to pull myself back, because I want to be with someone who sees me as a great person, a great woman, and I feel like he doesn't see me as that because I put up with so many terrible things that he did. He has like a different reputation for me. Now it's just, oh, this girl, she's going to put up with whatever. Like, I don't have to treat her with respect. Like, that's how he sees me now. So I really can't ever be with him again.
Wait, you just said you wanted to hit.
I want to be with him, but I can't. It's a principle. It's discipline.
Wait, but it sounded like you wanted to hit, but he didn't.
It's not like he didn't. We both did, but we didn't. Because he sees me as someone who he can play with. So I try not to put myself in that situation, even though I want to.
Okay.
And I want to because I've been with him for a very long time, and I wouldn't want to restart with someone new.
In these instances where he
that's really weird to me, though. If you don't mind me just kind of asking, why would you be going to events with this guy's family and be having close personal relationships with this guy's family if that wasn't a way in which you can kind of piggyback off of them to get close to him? Usually you would think that if you were in a disastrous relationship where the man and the woman had decided that they just weren't right for each other, that generally they tend to space each other away from each other's families, personal connections, things like this, so that they don't have to see each other anymore. It's really odd, right? A little strange that you're going to his little brother's graduation, right? That's a little weird.
It is a little weird. Every time before one of his family members' events, I always give myself this pep talk, which is not great. I'm like, you're stupid, you're so dumb, why are you here? You stay away from his family, he doesn't want to be with you. I always tell myself that, but I always end up going because I have like this everlasting faith that he'll finally like treat me right and want to be with me, and he'll see.
So you are using the family as a piggyback to get close to this guy. Like, that's, by your own admission, you're attaching yourself to his family members so that you can be close in proximity in hopes that he one day has a turnaround. And he's like, finally, eureka, the light bulb went off. I was brushing my teeth this morning, and ding, there it is. You're the girl of my dreams. I always knew it. Like, is that the eureka you think is coming? Or?
Sometimes that is the goal, but other times it's not solely me. I feel like his mother wants me to be with him as well. So I feel like she also does this to help me and him regain a stronger bond. But it's funny because when she
does he tell his mama to mind her own business? Does he say, "Mom, mind your own fucking business," doesn't he?
He does.
Yep, he does. He does. He says, "Mom, I don't give a shit what you say. Never cared what you said, Mom. I still love you, Mom. I adore you. You're my mom. But mind your own business." That's what he says, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think there's a situation, Andrew, and girl, you got to call me after this, and we're going to work through this together. I'll hook you up.
Wait.
Yeah, she'll only charge you X amount of dollars, right?
I'll just do the call. At this point, I'll do it for free. How many should get out of it?
What other advice is there to give but move on?
I know.
There is no other prescriptive thing we can tell you. This guy's, you said, like, he's going to continue seeing other women. If he was really about you, he would only be about you. So like you're basically, you were, are, will be the side chick. Point blank, period. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just trying to give you like a wake up call here. You gotta like, you're still pining over this, dude. But I'm just confused because you say you've been single for 2 years, but you're seeing this. Okay.
I'm single, but I have
Metro Matt donated $69.
Yeah, we'll move on in this.
Move the fool con bro.
Thank you, Metro Matt. Appreciate it. When in the instances where he would allegedly cheat on you, was there any retribution from your end?
As in?
Slashing tires, reputation destruction, anything like that?
The most I would do is I'm a very much of a not talk to you person, so I would just not talk to him. If I did talk to him, I would constantly scream at him. Like he would not be able to communicate. I would just be standing there screaming at him for hours, and then I would cry.
Sounds healthy.
You would scream at him for hours?
Yes.
And he wouldn't get one word in?
No.
This was a multi-hour monologue?
Yes.
He wouldn't even respond. He'd just sit there playing Call of Duty?
Yes. And sometimes...
Wait, would he be on a video game while you were yelling at him?
He would either be on the game or on his phone, or we would be outside in the middle of going somewhere. Sometimes we would be out places, and he would talk to someone, and I would grab him, make him leave, and I would yell at him the whole way home.
You would yell at him in public?
Yes.
Yikes.
The whole way.
So I gotta say, to whoever this mystery man is, sir, run away as fast as you can. Please, never look back again. Tell mommy and little brother to stop having relationships with your possibly ex-girlfriends who may not have been the girlfriend, but that would be my recommendation. You know, and I know somewhere he's watching this, or will be watching this, and he's thinking, man, I've tried everything. I've done everything I could possibly do. She calls my mom on Saturdays, bro. She calls her on Saturday. Yeah. Okay.
I recently just blocked his mother, his brother, his sister, and him because I can't do this anymore. So, yeah.
He can't do that shit either. Yikes. Wait. Okay, I want a 30-second demo. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play solitaire hold on. All right.
I don't think you're ready.
Hold on. All right, look, I'm gonna play solitaire. All right, you just yell at me like how you yelled at him. Go ahead.
What are you doing? Why are you talking to them? I can't take you nowhere. That's my best friend's party. Come on. I literally am gonna have to hear about this tomorrow. Please! No, don't say that. Don't say anything. Please be quiet. No, because you stay cheating. You stay acting like a hoe. I can't take you nowhere. You need to go home. Don't leave me. Where are you going? Come back. What is wrong with you? I don't know. I can't. No, be quiet. Stop. Every single time we go somewhere, we cannot go anywhere. We cannot go anywhere. I can't take you anywhere. Please, can you please just act like you want to be with me, or we do not have to go places. We can deal with this inside, not outside.
Sorry, I was busy playing solitaire.
Whoa. Can we put the cuckoo back in the clock here, ladies, for just a minute? That was rough.
That sounded like you rehearsed this.
Yeah. It happened so many times where at that point I would just go off. I would nonstop, I would lose my voice just screaming at him because there was nothing I could say for him to actually stop what he was doing, so I would just say everything.
I have a random one-off scenario question. If a guy came into your life and he was pursuing you and he was a good man, and then this guy came back and he was like, no, I want you, which one would you take?
Private chat.
At this point in my life, I'm going to say the new person.
Oh, thank God.
Only because every other moment of my life, I've taken him back, and it wasn't worth it. Every single time, it wasn't worth it because he still couldn't see me as someone who was worth being with, and I want someone new who can see me as a fresh, beautiful soul, and they don't have all this pent up anger against me or resentment because I let them do things that I shouldn't have, and I should have walked away a long time ago.
So you said that you blocked this guy's family.
Yes.
You're not gonna go over there anymore?
No.
Okay.
If you want to call him, just call me. I got you. So. I think we've all been there, though. I'll be honest, the on and off, it takes a minute. And you say the real brat, I think that's when you take your power back, when you start realizing your self-worth and self-respect, and you're just I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. So you deserve better. But as someone who's been through it, sometimes it takes a couple of times for you to realize it, and then your friends have all seen it, and you start slowly seeing what they saw, and then you realize that it's time to cut it off. But I'm proud of you.
I'm gonna cut through all this bullshit. I'm just gonna come out and say it. You're not gonna like it. She's the abusive one.
Yeah, she is.
She's being abusive.
She's for sure has a lot of. You need a lot of healing, my child. But
yeah, but you're telling her you don't have to put up with it anymore.
No,
hang on. It's her journey.
Andrew.
It's her journey.
It's not that. It's the fact that I'm saying that she definitely needs. I'm not saying she doesn't need help. It's the fact that she needs to go through. She has a lot of unhealed trauma for herself, but at the same time, she's not putting up with this. So now you have to focus on yourself. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If somebody yelled at me like that, girl, I would have cut you. I would have moved, changed my phone number, blocked you, left. But it is that resentment. It is that pent up what you're not getting. So you're frustrated. You're both toxic, and it just keeps getting more toxic and toxic because you're letting it happen. So he doesn't respect you. You don't respect yourself. He's not listening to you. He's tuning you out, and you get more frustrated because you don't feel heard. So it's like literally a toxic thing that just keeps fucking building up until it explodes.
Have you guys ever had a physical altercation?
Yes, we have, but it wasn't as bad as I would say like abuse goes. I'm gonna be honest. I think that.
But this was you physically attacking him, right? This is where we're going. If I could make a prediction,
I believe that I hit him and then he hit me back. So I literally started crying. I was like, oh my God, you hit me. But I was so mad I did hit him.
Yeah, but you can't raise your hand if you don't want to expect to get hit.
Yeah, I should.
Did this happen more than once?
This happened not many times. I would say 3 times in the same week, to where it was like we were actually fighting. But he was fighting me to a point where he wanted me to stop, and I was fighting him to a point where I was angry. So it was like he wasn't.
So he was defending himself.
Yeah, and he wasn't like hurting me or anything. He was genuinely trying to get me to stop.
He was like holding your arms, and in the 3 times you mentioned, you were the initiator in all of them.
Yes.
Okay, and what were you slapping him? What were you doing?
I slapped him a few times. I would punch him in the back and like in the arm. This is so bad, but I was like so angry. He would sit on his phone in my room and text other females, people that I used to be friends with, people that I would see every day, and I would just like scream at him like, please, like, don't do that, get off your phone. It was a game for him. He was having so much fun, so I would like hit him. Yeah, it was bad. I was crazy.
I mean, honestly, I don't think he's at fault either, because like Brian said, he was honest with you. Like he didn't have any consequences, because I've been through that where I had an ex, he said he wanted options, and I was like, that's no, I'm sorry, bye. But he didn't have any consequences, so he really didn't care, and he told you what he wanted, which wasn't really you, and it hurts to hear it, but you just kind of like want to force it on him, and then you're just getting frustrated because you're not getting what you want. But it's almost like selective hearing. You're literally not listening to what he's saying, and you're just like, but give me what I want. And he's like, well, this is what I'm giving you, and you just don't want to accept what he wasn't giving you.
Yeah.
All right, kumbaya. Can I get a
This is also, I mean, this is also, wait, you said he's adopted?
Yes, I feel so bad that I put that out there, but it's part of our love story, or was love story.
Did you adjust the mic, Nick?
I did that.
Okay.
But she needs to speak closer.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's also an L for this guy to actually tolerate this level of disrespect. He's clearly the victim in this whole situation. But
okay, can I give a counter though to this, Brian? I'm gonna counter signal you here.
Okay.
What if it's it's 11 o'clock at night, and he wants some Arby's, and it's really far away, and it's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. She can go get the Arby's for him, and she'll just do it, right?
Bucky
so,
Larson
like, in his defense,
$71.
who wants to get up at 11 o'clock at night?
I'm going to Cabo San Lucas in February next year. Would any of you on the panel vote to me, Bucky Larson, for 6 nights in a row if I flew you out to Cabo?
Okay, I guess show of hands. Anybody here willing to take him up on this Bucky Larson wants to fly you guys out to Cabo? Anybody? Shit, bro. Damn, sorry, Bucky. Sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
Sounds like sex trafficking.
Well, I'm just saying, I understand what you're saying. Kind of an L for him because he's, continuing to kind of lead her on and this kind of thing. But You know, I really feel like that's deviating away from female accountability in this instance. Once you get to I hang out with his parents and his siblings in order to get closer to him, I feel like he's just kind of stuck at that. But, like, what the hell is he going to do?
What's he going to, like...
Like, you can't avoid
Yeah,
her.
you can't avoid her,
You keep
right?
inserting
It's just-
yourself in his life. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we do that. Like, let's be real. We've
I
done
was
that a lot. We keep in
trapping
touch with the family
Wait,
because we
wait,
want to
what?
get back.
Say it.
What?
I was trapping him for a certain amount of time. That's what I wanted as well. And then it just got dreadful. And then I started asking myself, why am I here? Why am I doing this? But at first it was like, oh yeah, like his mom invited me. Oh, I'm coming. Like, but then I started to like gather myself.
His
and-
adoptive mother?
Yes.
Is his mother aware of the nature of your guys' physically violent relationship?
Yes, I would tell her all the time, and she would tell me like that he's not ready to be in a relationship and that he needs to like grow a lot more within himself, especially with his personal issues, and that it's like not right for me to be with him, but I would never listen to her, so.
This whole thing's a massive clusterfuck. The adoptive mother is not advising her adopted son to try to exit a physically abusive relationship.
I'm just not willing to throw this poor guy under the bus just yet. I'm just not quite there. He seems like he's had a hard time. I mean, you're beating him up, ingratiating yourself into his family, won't leave him alone. You know, I mean, you kind of sound like a pain in the ass, honestly.
Yes, I do. And that's why me and him can't be together, because we have so much trauma in our history, but I don't see it like that, which is part of my problem. I see it all as like a long love story. But in conclusion to this whole situation, I feel that when you are not getting what you need or you need to receive in a relationship, you need to remove yourself, or else it'll bring something else out of you that is not beautiful and that you don't need to experience. And that's exactly what happened here. It's just,
Yeah, no, not really, because he tried to remove himself, and then you inserted yourself after he tried to remove himself, right? So that's not really what happened here.
Wait, he don't get to remove himself? Is that what you said?
he does not get to remove himself until we both feel that that is what needs to happen. But now that I'm thinking about it now, it's okay.
Have you ever seen the movie Psycho? You know, the shower scene with that music, that music is playing right there. That's all I hear. That's all I hear right now, is that this poor guy is going to have a shower scene soon. He's just, he's going to get off a hard day's work, and then that's it. The curtain's going to open, and that's going to be it for him.
In all fairness,
He
I think the
doesn't
red
get to
hair-
quit, right? He doesn't get to quit me. He's not allowed to.
By the way, TTS has been bumped up to back to 200. The whole situation is an absolute mess. Are you trolling, or is this legit?
No, I'm
This is
so
all legit?
serious.
Okay.
If he were to watch this right now, he would be so happy because you're validating his point. Everything that he says, you are validating. He would be so happy right now. He'd be like, yeah, I told you she's crazy. Like,
Is he
I
wrong?
told her.
Is he wrong?
I am crazy when you drive me to craziness.
Yeah, I can see it. It's all his fault. This poor, logical, reasonable human being.
Is he watching this? I'll
Who
literally
you hang out with his family, this poor deranged lunatic, whose family you're hanging out with. I know it's poor you. Really, poor you.
I was gonna say.
I mean, I appreciate you're honest.
Yeah.
That's commendable.
And she's not in
She's
No, I love that.
she's honest. At least we can give her that, right?
Yeah, honestly psychotic.
I'm not psychotic anymore. I have completely removed myself, and I'm continuing to remove myself every single day. I'm continuing to understand what not being loved correctly does to me. I don't put him at fault. I put myself at fault because I should have removing myself from the situation a very long time ago, and me staying is what brought this monster out of me, and it's not because of him. It's because of me, and I take full accountability for that, and that's why moving forward, I want to make sure that I know what triggers me and that I don't put myself in those positions. And being not wanted triggers me, so I'm not going to be in any position where I am not wanted.
Have you ever damaged any of his property?
Yes.
I just love the honesty, though.
Like what?
He got me, okay, one time there was a Christmas that had one of the Christmases a few years ago, and I had got him like all of these gifts. He used to like smoke in his mom's house, so I would buy him like candles so that you couldn't smell it. His mom was so mad. But I had pressed him. I was like, why didn't you get me a gift? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't care if you don't have any money. Like you could hustle and get me something. Like, I was so upset. And then one day in January, he had like this long pole, and he gave it to me, and inside of it was this long, big picture of the Vincent van Owen sunflower painting. It's like a pot with like all the sunflowers in it.
Wait, Vincent van Gogh?
Yes, Vincent van Gogh. Okay, you're gonna understand why I don't remember the name.
So you broke the vase or whatever?
No, what happened was it's a painting. It's a long picture frame painting of the picture that he gave me. And then a few days later, he took me, we were walking down like a bunch of streets. He's like, we're almost there. I'm like, what are we doing? I guess he had bought a picture frame for it on OfferUp, and he put it together. We put it together. It was like almost as big as this table, a really big like Vincent van Gogh picture.
And you destroyed it.
What happened was, one day he didn't want to see me, and this was about like 6 months later. I was like very like in a traumatic phase of my life, and I really needed him to be there for me. But he was out with other girls and like with his friends who would take him with other girls, and I was very much
It was time to wreck that shit. It was time to wreck that. Teach him a lesson.
I was so
He needed to be
upset.
taught a
It
lesson.
was like watching me,
you know?
everything that he gave me was watching me. So I was like, okay, whatever. I had some lighter fluid in the back. I grabbed the lighter fluid. I grabbed some matches. I walked down the street like where all the crackheads were. I started smashing the painting.
What?
I recorded it. This is on Instagram.
I retract my free offer. I'm gonna need to charge you extra and some liability and insurance.
I smashed it into pieces in the crackhead alley, and I literally lit it up with lighter fluid. They were hyping me up. I lit it up with lighter fluid. I sat there, I started recording, and I just let it burn. I just sat there, just like watched it burn. He had gave me this big stuffed animal monkey, and like it just reminded me of him because when we first met, he was like kind of fat. So like I called him Fat Daddy. And yeah, gave me like this fat monkey, and so I was like, okay, like this is him. I did not want the monkey, so like I tried to burn it. I ran out of lighter fluid, and there was a dog walking around. I was like, here, doggy, you want a toy? And then the dog took it. He ran off with it. I just like said.
Does he have a car?
Oh, wait, before I tell you if he had a car, he had some nice clippers and some nice cologne. I gave that to the homeless man who watched me burn his stuff.
Charity.
Oh, so you gave your stuff away. Okay.
Yeah.
And so does he have a car?
He has a car now.
Have you
but
ever damaged his car?
No. When we were together, he didn't have a car.
Okay. If he had a car, would you have damaged it?
I probably would have stolen it before I would have damaged it, only because in that phase of my life, like, everything that was his was ours, and if he wasn't mine, it's still mine, so, yeah.
Everything that was his was ours?
Ours. So if he had a car, it was our car, and if he didn't want me, it was my car. I would have, like, when he left stuff with me, it was mine. That's why I gave his stuff away. That's why I lit his stuff on fire. Yeah. I would have, if he had a car and we were together, I would have taken his car.
You know what's
crazy
crazy to me?
He would not have been able to go see other girls in that car. I would have had the car.
You know what's crazy to me about this conversation is, if there was a man sitting where you're sitting telling us the exact same shit, but like flip the genders, the gravitas of the situation would be like way different. Like girls are kind of like chuckling, she's laughing about it. Not only if a guy was like revealing all these things, but he was laughing as he did. This guy would be like public enemy number one.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting to me how that works.
Well, he'd be on his 9th restraining order, you know? I mean, his picture would be plastered all over, don't date this guy because he's a lunatic.com, right? I mean, he would have everything on planet Earth going against him. But you, it's just like, oh, well, you know, I'm in a nice little picnic dress, and, you know, I burned this guy's shit and handed all of his stuff off to homeless people. I'm nice. I'm a real sweetheart.
I very much am a sweetheart. As long as I'm not with him, everything's good, because being with him triggered so much of myself that I needed to learn.
It's his fault.
It's not his fault, it's my fault, but it's also a good thing that it happened, not for him, of course, but at least for me, because I got to realize these sides of myself that I wouldn't ever want to do again. Like, I still look back, and I know I just said a lot of crazy things, but I miss that monkey, that fat
That's what I'm going to start saying to my wife. I'm going to go in and be like, you burnt the roast, and I'm going to smack the shit out of her, and they're going to be like, it's your fault. You bring out the worst in me. I can't help it. It's all you. If you didn't bring... My fingers wouldn't be bruised right now from decking you so many times. But it's you. You did it. I mean, does that sound reasonable to you? Or does that sound like I'd go to prison?
I was not 18 yet enough to do real time, so I was kind of in the green zone.
So that's why you did, so you can get away with it?
Did you go to, like, did you catch a case for any of this shit?
No. I never got caught for none of this stuff, like...
Yeah.
How old are you? It's 20.
Well, I mean, you say that it's only with this guy, but have any of these behaviors manifested with other men?
No. What's crazy is that I think now I'm realizing my karma. Every single guy that I have, like, talked to or tried to be with after him have all been psychopaths. And all of my friends know, if you're out there listening, I literally have dealt with psychopaths consistently after this, and it's torn me even more to the point where now I don't know how to be in a relationship, because at first I was like this crazy, like, wanting to be loved girl, but now, like, I'm dealing with people who are doing the same thing to me. It's making sense to me now that I have been living out my karma. Every person that I've talked to after him has been psycho. They have done hurtful things and said hurtful things to me.
Sure. Anyways, I do have to move it on. Perhaps we'll come back to that in a little bit. Preemptively, we were actually going to react to something actually somewhat related. Nick, pull up the Daily Mail thing. Yeah, the video. Actually, we'll get through relationship status, then we can do it afterwards. What about you, relationship status?
Single and celibate.
How long have you been single?
I would say 8 months.
How long have you been celibate?
Since we broke up 8 months ago. Longest
relationship?
About 3.5 years.
Was that the one that ended?
That one was 3 years. The one before that was 3.5. So they're all around 3.5 years.
Ever married?
No.
Kids?
No.
Okay. And so longest relationship, 3.5 years. And when you say you're celibate, are you now like waiting until marriage or something, or
no?
Just
when I'm single, I don't hook up. It's just not me. I kind of try to put myself out there to date, and I downloaded the dating apps, went out a couple times just to put myself out there.
Okay.
But no.
All right. What about you?
I'm single.
How long have you been single?
I would say for about like 2 years, 3 years.
2 to 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Longest relationship?
I would say on and off for about 5 years.
From what age to what age?
From 18 to 22.
Okay, and you're 24. Okay,
yes.
So 2 to 3. All right. How many times was it off and on?
I would say often. I would say like it was kind of a physical situation, but not necessarily on my end. I was just young. I didn't really know the red flags in a guy. And I guess when you're in something like that, it takes a while to realize like this is not healthy. And then like there were so many other factors in it that made it harder for me to like understand what situation I was in. And then when I finally, like she kind of really helped me get out of that situation, I never looked back to it.
So you were in an on-again, off-again 5-year relationship. I mean, if you had to estimate, how many times was it off and on?
I would say about 3 times, 3 or 4 times.
3 to 4
It
times.
wasn't like off and then automatically on again. It would be
There'd
like
be periods of
a
time.
year, it'd be like months, and
okay.
then back together.
Would you date other people
No.
in that
No.
off period? Okay.
No.
When it was off, who initiated the off?
Me. So it was always me.
And then when it was on, who initiated the let's get back together?
He would always try his best to show up in my life
Okay.
any way possible.
All right. Okay. What about you?
I would say I've never really had like a serious relationship.
So you're
or
single?
relationship. Single.
So, what's the longest period of time you've dated somebody?
Maybe like 3 months or less.
3 months. But you never had a boyfriend.
I mean, in my head, no. Yes. in my head.
Okay. All right. So, when's the last time you've been dating at all?
No. Well, I've like talked to people, like some people on the internet. Like if they say things that are like interesting to me, I'll like respond. But I'm not necessarily going out and dating people right now. I'm too focused like on what we're doing. So.
Which is the educational.
Yeah, we have educational speaking entrepreneurship in our brand. We just launched a clothing brand, so it took a long time for me
And
to
you
get that
educate people
together.
on what?
Philosophy, like anything that, not just philosophy, but just.
And like I said, how I was talking to you about red flags, I was not aware of the red flags in men. So we also educate like red flags in people that are in relationships and how the aftermath of trauma in a relationship.
What-
How can you grow after being traumatized? How can you grow?
What kind of philosophy?
Like what's it called
Stoicism.
And
Wait,
like,
Stoicism or solipsism?
no, Stoicism. Sorry if I'm saying it right. It's wrong.
Stoicism?
Yes, Stoicism and like different philosophies.
You sure
based
you're
off
not teaching them
readings.
solipsism?
No, I would say that. Wait, what?
Okay, I was just curious.
No. Just about like the mind and like how to like elevate one's mindset and vibration from low frequency to high frequency.
What does that
Well,
mean?
that sounds like esotericism. Not
No, it
solipsism.
means low vibrational is like talking about things like, like she was saying earlier, like she had to have those pep talks with herself saying, I'm stupid, I'm an idiot, and to go see him, those are like low vibrational thoughts. And you're supposed to listen to the high vibration, like I'm better than this, I can do great things, I'm here for a reason, I want to be alive, I want to fulfill my destiny.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's linked in together with Stoicism at all.
That has everything to do with Stoicism because Stoicism.
Can you explain it to
I am
me?
explaining it right now. It has to do with Stoicism because people in Stoicism believe that life should be peaceful and that everything has a reason in a positive manner. So everything correlates with Stoicism to high vibration.
Like for example, like if you see a
Can
situation.
you tell me which of the great Stoic philosophers talked about vibrational frequencies?
Well, it's like for example, for someone.
Hang on. I would like an answer to my question.
Yes.
Can you tell me which great Stoic philosophers talked about vibrational frequencies?
I'm not sure.
Maximus,
What did he say about vibrational frequencies?
he talked about the state of
So wait,
mind.
Maximus what?
I cannot remember his last name at the moment, but
Maximus Delius Aurelius?
no, that's not his name.
Was he the father to a murdered child?
No, I'm
Was
sorry.
he
We're
the
two different people.
husband to a murdered wife,
talking
and
about
he's
two
going to have
different
his
people.
revenge in this life or the
You
next?
just are making someone's name up. That's not accurate.
Wait, are we asking who the author?
He's just like.
Wait, have you
trolling.
guys?
No,
you guys-
I was cracking a joke. That's
Yeah, I
true.
know.
Right? I was quoting Gladiator just because I thought it was funny. But
wait, Stoicism.
Maximus, the vibrational frequency
He's
guy.
talked about
Maximus
the
who?
mindset of the brain, and they did tests with human beings when it comes to like talking and depression. People with depression and people who are like successful in their careers who have depression and they don't have depression. And they like tested the people in the room and the people who spoke so highly about others, and they had this positive posture in mind that everything that they would say out their mouth was something positive, versus the people who are depressed, they would look at life and say, oh, life sucks, I don't want to be here.
Before we jump to modern
That's low
sociological
vibrational
science
thoughts.
experiments, can you tell me which Stoic philosophers
did.
you're referencing? Yeah, what was his name again?
I just told you. If you couldn't remember, you should have wrote it down.
I can't remember. What is
Okay,
it?
well, I'm sorry. You should have wrote it down.
Can you tell me one more time?
No. You have to pay
Why
me
not?
for that. You have to
Why
pay
won't
me
you
for
just
that.
tell me who the philosopher is?
You would have to pay me or go to school for that. I'm so sorry.
Well, I wasn't sitting here, so why don't you tell me?
I don't really want to continue this conversation.
Well, so I don't know.
I know, but we really do want to continue the conversation. Can you tell us who the philosopher was?
I just said his name is Maximus. I cannot remember his
what?
last name. I just said that when you asked me that the first time, so that's why I didn't even want to repeat the conversation.
You're teaching people Stoicism about vibrations. You can't name one philosopher other than Maximus who teaches about vibrational frequencies, a Stoic philosopher?
No, it's not even about it's not about that one philosopher himself. It's about the idea of Stoicism and the practice of it. I don't really care about like the point you're trying to prove. The point I'm trying to say is a high vibrational mindset is the key to success. In my life strategy and what I've been doing, that's been working great for me. So whatever you're saying, I don't need to have a list of people to say, oh, this is like the way of
You
life.
don't need the architects of Stoicism, the
But if you go and research it, I'm not wrong. That's why I'm
quote any
saying.
of them talking about vibrational
I'm just
frequencies.
trying to say
none
that
of
I'm
them.
not wrong what I'm saying. So if you want to prove me wrong, pull up the facts against me because everything. If you've researched
I'm
this,
trying to. So here's
well,
the thing.
you're not,
I'm
though.
willing.
You haven't.
So hang on.
ahead.
I'm absolutely willing, 100%, to claim that I'm incorrect. I love hearing other ideologies and philosophies, but I'm going to need a little bit more than Maximus the philosopher who talked about vibrational frequencies for me to even know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, for example, Alexander the Great, or
Okay,
like
Alexander the Great never
all the
talked about
warriors like
vibrational
Salahuddin
frequencies.
Ayyubi. He talks about high vibration and how he was able to conquer Jerusalem during the 88 years of peace. Versus right now, where it's Israel and Palestine, there's this whole conflict going on. Like,
Fuck does that have to do with anything? Hold on, let me
that's
take
the
over.
philosophy.
Let me take over here for a second. You guys are talking about the Stoicism, correct?
yes.
Okay, and you were referencing an individual. I was gone. Who is the individual who you referenced?
I would like to take back my answer because I don't know his full name at the moment. I mean, I do know his
Did he
name,
write
but
a book?
I'm sorry.
Was he an emperor?
No, he was a philosopher. But I
He
just
was a
cannot
Stoic
remember his
philosopher?
name. Yeah, I cannot remember his full name because it's Greek.
Do you know who the most
Latin.
preeminent, prominent Stoic philosopher was?
No, not on the top of my mind. But
Are
if
you
I go
familiar with
and
the
look,
book Meditations?
yeah.
Do you know who wrote the book?
No, not on top of my mind. They have very long names, and I can't remember these things unless I like go back and memorize.
Does Marcus Aurelius?
Yes, Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's like it's more so the
You mean-
message than the
yeah,
name.
like the
Yeah,
most
we're getting-
famous
yeah.
Stoic philosopher.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, he was really keen on like what time you got up in the morning, what you ate for breakfast. Not so keen on. I don't remember much about vibrational frequencies coming
It
from
could
Marcus
be worded in
Aurelius, I'm
another
not gonna
way,
lie.
but it's overall the same message of like having a high vibration. It's the same thing.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I feel like I get that. I wouldn't put it as a philosophy, to be honest, but I get it. When you're low frequency, it's like when you're depressed, when you're just like all the negative or limiting beliefs or whatever it is. So when you raise your vibration is, let's say if you do something, workout, it's like the endorphins kick in. It's like that, you know, but I mean, I wouldn't call it a philosophy. Mine is more like, I don't know, self-awareness kind of thing, but maybe that ties into philosophy. I'm not going to really get onto the philosophy part because I don't know much about it, but I get the ebbs and flows. When you're low, you got to kind of do something to get yourself out of it. If I'm not feeling good, I will do something, you know, like Tony Robbins talks about it. He's like, oh, you know, when he jumps up and down, change your physiology. If you're not feeling good, change your physiology. Do something that feeds your soul and then raises your vibration, so then it opens up your mindset. Because when you're on those low frequencies, it's almost like doomsday. It's like you attract what you put out. So when you're in a negative state mind, if you're in that low vibration, you're attracting everything that's negative. So if you're feeling good, you're going to radiate that positivity and you're going to get that back in the universe. So I believe that, but I don't know.
It's not only that, but it's philosophy has to do everything to do with high vibration because of mindset and also point of view of life. How do you want to live this life, and also how do you perceive life? This all has to do with philosophy. Philosophy is used for people to practice in a way of life. That's why people have religions. That's why philosophy is incorporated in religion.
I mean, I don't know much about philosophy, but I mean, I'm Iranian, so there's a lot of amazing philosophers that we have. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to speak on that, but I speak on the vibration part of it, because I incorporate that in my life, where I'm like, okay, if I'm feeling this, then change your vibration, change your physiology, and it elevates you. So, again, I don't know much about the philosophy aspect of it, but I'm sure it ties into it.
How long, you said you've been single your whole life, you said? Pretty much. No boyfriend.
Yes.
So are there any guys in the picture currently?
No.
No guys in the picture?
No.
No sneaky link?
No.
No guy you're texting?
No.
Okay. And then what about you? No guys in the picture
No.
currently?
No.
Okay. All right. And you said you teach women
It's not women, it's just people.
who want to
Oh.
learn.
who want to learn what?
Like people who are interested in the mindset that we're talking about, like elevating their mindset from negative to positive. Sometimes you can sit alone by yourself and have automatic negative mindsets, bad thoughts all the time. You wonder why, where are these thoughts coming from? It's coming from something like within, subconscious. You have to change your mind frame, change how you view the world so you can perform better and how you can treat others
how do you do
around you
that?
better. I'm sorry?
How do you do that?
You have to
Change your mindset. Change your mind frame.
how do you do that?
By experiencing new levels of education, understanding new perspectives in life, and applying it to your own life, your day-to-day, I don't know,
living?
days.
Yeah, I feel like
So
honestly,
living?
it's like very basic when it comes to that, where it's like it's to change your perspective. It's like I can
Wait,
wake up
but
and.
you guys don't share the same.
Well, I
you
know,
gotta
but
let
I'm
them
kind of like trying to
answer.
make it make sense. But I'm like, go
table.
ahead. Yeah, I mean, you said communicate.
I don't even really want to share too much because I feel like this is like your platform. So I really would rather give it an opportunity to talk about dating and not to do with the way of life.
That's actually fair. All right, moving it on. What about you?
I'm single. I've been single since June 27th, to be exact.
June 27th, to be
Yes.
exact. Okay, so 3 weeks-ish.
Yeah, basically.
All right, and how long was that relationship?
I wouldn't even call it a relationship.
What do you call
We
it?
were talking for like 2 months, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes, and then he broke up with me a week later.
Okay.
So like a little fling.
Okay, so, and longest relationship?
A year and 4 months.
All right, 1 year. And we originally we found you. You had some TikTok videos. Nick, could you pull those up?
Oh.
Or pull. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me get through everybody's relationship status. Then we'll come back to that. Go ahead.
I have been in a relationship for 4 years, and it is my longest relationship. Was that the only question?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
I am married, and that's, my longest relationship. Been married 3 years this year, together almost 10, and that's my longest relationship.
All right. What about you?
I'm taken, and the longest relationship was 4 years.
How long's your current thing?
We just started dating.
Just started dating.
Yes.
All right. And do you have kids?
I'm currently cooking one.
All right. There you go. She's pregnant. Pregante. Cool.
How far along?
Almost 8 months.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
A boy, thank God.
All right. And so, going back to you, you said you've been single as of 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
You were dating a guy for 2 months. So, and he broke up with you. He asked you to be boyfriend, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
A week later, breaks up with you. Why did he break up with you?
Okay, can I give the whole rundown?
Is it
It's kind of like
relatively?
like a quickish rundown.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I asked him to get me something, and he didn't want to get it for me, and then that started an argument, and then the argument was at night, and so we slept on it. I'm sorry. Next day, we didn't text at all. Then that same night, he's like, "Hey, I don't think this is gonna work out." I go into things without like fully evaluating them and looking at the like repercussions. So I don't think I wholeheartedly want a relationship anymore. And that was it.
What was the thing that you wanted?
A vape.
You wanted a vape.
I wanted a vape.
And how much did the vape cost?
Like $20.
Okay.
Because
and
I usually get them myself, but the store that I went to carded. And so I was like, "Hey, can you please get this for me?" And he's like, "I don't want to get that for you because you're not 21 yet." And I said, "Okay." And then we had an argument and that whole thing happened.
Oh, okay. So there was like, he didn't want some sort of liability.
Yeah.
there.
Which, like, I understand. And I told him, I was
So
like...
then why did you have an argument about it?
Because I told him, I was like, okay, if you don't want to get it, I'll just find another way to get it. He's like, oh, no, I don't want you to get it from people who are, like, druggies or things like that. Like, I would rather have you get it from me, someone that you trust. And I was like, well, you don't want to do it in the first place, so I'll just find my own other way to do it. And then I guess that started a little fire in him or something.
Do you think he was wrong for breaking up with you?
I do. Because we were talking for 2 months already, and he knew my personality. He knew the person that I was, and I knew the type of person he was. And he was interested. He said he was interested in looking for a relationship, but for him to cut me off after a week over one mild argument that could have easily been solved, I don't know. It just didn't seem fair.
What was the nature? I mean, how was the tone of the argument? Were you yelling?
No, we weren't yelling. It was over text. It was very, like, mutual.
Can I read it? Can I read the text messages? Because, you know, sometimes people leave out certain details.
No, I'm being 100% honest.
I'm sure you are, but just, you know, without, you know, seeing the receipts, there's no point of contention or dispute as to what was said, what wasn't said. And I could give you the guy's perspective of if you fucked up.
He said that I was being kind of dry because all I kept saying was okay, because I just wanted to move on from what we were talking about. And then we just like ended the night with goodnight. And then he was like, oh, a girlfriend wouldn't just like sideline everything I say and not take into accountability what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to be serious and you're not taking me seriously. And I'm like,
so
I don't. In what world is that unreasonable? That's not totally reasonable. Doesn't it?
I guess, yeah. I suppose.
Do you suppose? Because before you said unfair, unreasonable. Hold on just a sec.
-_200 donated $200. Famous Stoic philosopher Dicus Maximus Van Noen once said, align with the cosmos' low vibrations. In quiet whispers, find wisdom and hidden paths to enlightenment and harmony.
Yeah, that's the guy,
Thank you.
I think. That's
Thank
the
you.
guy. Thank you.
Thank you. Negative 200.
Negative 200. Thank you.
I love
Yeah,
you.
but I mean,
Donate 200.
he didn't even quote Biggest Dickus or anything. That was the main philosopher.
That was cool. Thank you. See,
Yeah.
That's good.
I
That
don't
was
speak
good.
no lies.
Yeah. So thank you, Negative. So back to this. Have you guys spoken at all since, or where did you guys leave it?
no, we haven't spoken since.
Okay. How did he end it? He just said.
He was just like, oh, I ultimately decided that I don't wholeheartedly want a relationship with you. He says that he makes impulsive decisions without... It wasn't like this...
Mhm.
Still got injured, but like
It looks like it's recovered. Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, but we've had like mild arguments where we've gotten over them, no problem. And I thought this was just going to be another mild argument as well that we would get over, but I guess not.
What else have you guys argued about?
Oh, me going to parties?
Oh, okay.
That
What
was-
was the argument there?
He said that he doesn't want to be with someone who goes to parties all the time.
Yeah.
When I told him originally already that I do party promoting as like a little side hobby hustle, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cool that you do party promoting and you're in school and you work and stuff like that." I was like, "Oh my god, this guy thinks I'm like so cool." But then he's like, "I don't want to be with a girl who does party promoting." And I was
Okay.
like,
Does he party?
But you can understand that.
I do understand that.
You could be a pimp, but that wouldn't make you a prostitute, right? Like, that's not the way that works. So if you were a pimp and you did have a ring of prostitutes, that would not entail that you yourself would need to sleep with the Johns, right? So if you're a party promoter, I don't see how the entailment is that you must party exactly.
Well, I just go for my friends. My friends are all there. I'm friends with all the people that I host with, and they're all really cool people. It's not like I'm going out talking to 300 guys in one night, getting all their numbers.
Are they coming to talk to you?
Some do come to talk to me, and I'll be polite and say hi, but I'll tend to just brush them off because, no.
Do you drink at the parties?
Rarely.
Rarely. Do you like smoke weed or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So in any case, this guy broke up with you. It seems like there's a little bit of sour grapes.
But hang on. There are other people, I'm guessing, at these parties who are drinking and doing some mild forms of drugs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
but I try to stay sober as much as I can. Mainly because me and my roommate, we go together, and she likes to do all that stuff. So I drive home, if that makes sense.
Is she single?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like when he first met you, he said, "Yo, it's cool that you do the party promoting."
He said word for word, "I think it's cool that you do photography and are a party promoter."
He was probably just trying to make conversation so he could sleep with you.
Well, I mean, maybe he did think it's cool. Maybe he just didn't think an entailment of being a person who promoted parties was that you then yourself needed to go party, right? Because that's not an entailment of that. Like, I promote parties doesn't mean, it's like saying I'm a fight promoter. It doesn't mean I have to go to fights, right?
Also, on that note, how often are these parties held? Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
No, just like every Saturday, every other Saturday.
Okay. And
Just
were there instances where, for example, he wanted to hang out with you on a Saturday, but you had to go to the party? Okay. Well, I mean, so I guess when you first met, he had no problem with you engaging in what he considered single behavior. But once you guys started dating, he wanted you to act in a way that he thought was more consistent with being in a relationship. I think both men and women typically tend to prefer their partners to not be partying when they're in a relationship. So that could be a component there.
Like when you start caring about some of the behaviors that in the beginning that you are okay with, like the partying, then he's like, well, now I don't want to share you with him. And if you're not going to give it up, then what do you do?
There's probably this big argument, though, that was the cause of the breakup.
I don't even know.
Just show him the text. Do it.
I just wish he communicated that, like, hey, I
Do
it!
Just do it!
I deleted our old messages. So.
Just kidding.
You deleted the text messages?
I deleted everything.
Yeah.
I haven't blocked on everything. So.
Isn't there a way that you can bring it back, like an iPhone or in iMessage? You press like something.
The recently deleted, gone. The large attachments, gone.
You can actually call your phone carrier and they'll like provide some text back.
Nick, can you get on that? Can we get those receipts back?
Wait, so then if you were in a relationship and your man asked you to give up going to parties, would you do it?
I would say within reason. Because it is
within reason
I would say I wouldn't go like every time they throw, because it does get tiring, and sometimes I do not want to go sometimes, because sometimes I do like a night in on the weekends. So I don't know. I mean,
is it required for you to go?
No, I just like to go for fun.
Did he ever come with you?
He was supposed to go to one with me that Saturday, but he didn't because we broke up.
Do you have more, Lizzie?
So hang on, I just want to make sure I get this right, just real quick before we move on. So you're in an argument about you going and partying too much.
Yes.
And your resolution to this was to bring him partying with you. I just want to make sure I got that correct.
Because, okay, he's not a big, like, LA city party type of guy. He's more like kickback, close friends. And I was like, okay, I went to these kickbacks with him. They were fun. And I was like, okay, well, if I go to these with you, I went to like 3. I was like, can you at least go to like just one, just to experience it? And then he was fine with it. But then
No, I understand the idea here of
Yeah.
you have this interest and I have this interest,
Mhm.
and so I'm participating in your interest. Will you participate in one of mine?
Yes.
But this ignores what the argument is about, right? So let's assume that the roles are reversed and you're arguing with him about these get-togethers. And he was like, oh, well, I have a great idea. Why don't you just come with me to the get-togethers instead? That'll just solve the problem, right?
Well, I didn't know it was an entire problem until we argued about it. Because before that, everything was totally fine. Like, he was like, oh, like, it's cool. Like, yes, I'll go. Like, I already have my outfit planned. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I don't want to go. I don't like you partying. It's over.
Okay, can I? So, I know that growing up in this day and age, we kind of saturate ourselves with the idea that partying while in a relationship is not a bad thing. Personally, I would never do it. But I would say that it's not just like a trust issue, it's a respect issue. So if you respect your boyfriend, you just won't party unless he's there. And that's my opinion. And that's what takes a relationship very far. So for future reference. Protect his heart by not going to party without him.
Yeah. Little invite. Doesn't hurt anymore.
Well, no, I think you weren't ready for a relationship, because if you really do love someone and it's something that it's kind of like a non-negotiable to them, it comes down to like what's more important. Is it the relationship more important, or if you show up to a party with your friends? Cool. Are you gonna? It literally just comes down to that. So if he matters and you want to be with him, then going to parties and not going to parties is not that big of a deal, because you're like, well, this relationship matters to me and I want to build on that. So, all right, babe, I won't go. But if we do go, then we can go together. Like, you can compromise that eventually, but like initially giving him that, like you said, the respect of you matter to me more, and giving him that reassurance, and then you can kind of compromise. But yeah, I think it's just when you're really into someone, then you'll do the sacrifices.
I have a question. Would you want to date someone that was partying every weekend? Like, if the roles were reversed? Like, is that someone that you would want to be with?
If they were getting paid for it?
Even if it wasn't required for them to go? Payment or not?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. Half and half?
Just
Yes,
curious.
no. Half and half, yes, no. But it's like, I'm the type of person who's very trustworthy, which is kind of a bad thing. So I will just trust my partner that they don't do anything. But at the same time, I'm like, it's a respect thing, like you said. Yeah.
So like, when a guy's at parties, your boyfriend or future boyfriend, the idea in your head where it's like he's putting himself in a situation for all of these girls to come up to him, for all these girls to hit on him, whether or not you trust him, that's still happening. Does the idea of that not bother you?
I guess it does, yeah. Because
so that's how guys feel, that when girls going to parties, it's just giving those guys an opportunity, whether you're taken or not, to give them to give them that opportunity to flirt with you. So that you can totally say no, but you're there.
Yeah.
And you're letting it happen by being there, whether you say no or not. So
It's true.
Love that.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, there's a differential here, because as a guy, if you go to a bar, club, party, you could just go get a drink, be in the corner, be in the main part of it. Doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to talk to you as a guy the entire night, whether you're single, in a relationship, or married. It doesn't matter. If you're a girl, regardless of your relationship status, men are going to approach you. Men are going to come and talk to you. Men are going to flirt with you. So there's a massive differential there. So even making a comparison between men and women, it's totally different, because the way y'all flirt as women is by putting yourselves out there. So when you're in a relationship, you need to stop your version of game, and we need to stop our version of game. So for us as men, that's taking the initiator role. For you as women, that's you need to close off your options by not doing what you do as a single woman, which is to put yourself in a position to be approached, to be talked to. So for example, most women aren't going to slide into a dude's DMs, but you're going to post revealing photos. So in a relationship, the appropriate thing would be to, for example, the guy to stop DMing girls, and for the girl to stop posting revealing photos. Or in the case of a bar, the situation would be the guy stops approaching women. As a woman, you stop putting yourself in situations where you have pre-knowledge that you're likely to be romantically and sexually pursued. So this obviously doesn't look. You might get approached in Trader Joe's, but that's not really what we're talking about.
I'm so glad you're not dating. Donated $200.
Hey, good to see you back.
You tried and failed.
Thank you, bro.
You missed your shot. They spotted your position.
Huh?
Then you got headshot. You beta fuck. Thought you could hide. Just pierced his ear, but didn't break his stride. Trump 2024?
Trump 2024, baby.
I'm so glad.
He's a brave and decent man. He's a pioneer.
Yo, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you back in the chat, man. Yeah, that was crazy. I was watching all that stuff go down yesterday. Massive. Actually, we should maybe talk about the Secret Service and the women that were.
Brian, that woman had the most important job that there was. She was guarding the entirety of his midsection. I don't know if you knew that or not. Without her, I don't even think he would have been able to make it out of there. She was really. She was kind of shouldering the lion's share of the burden, if you will. I must have looked at that photo at least 30 times, and while it's true that it was iconic that Trump was holding his fist up in an American flag, and that'll go down in history as probably one of the greatest presidential pictures ever taken, all I could think of was how stunning and brave that woman was who was trying to pull him off that battlefield.
Yeah, well, did you see the photo of the other angle where there one of the, not that woman, who granted did her job and was being a meat shield effectively.
She did. After she got done falling on the ground, she did indeed grab him around the midsection and try to follow him out of there.
Well, there's the woman who
but it was a very slippery stage, to be fair.
Well, I don't know if you saw this other angle. There's a woman who was like behind, and she was the one with short hair who failed to holster her weapon 3 times. I don't know if you saw that part.
Well, okay, maybe, but these are new issue pistols that they have. And, they're really big, and women have small hands. It really wasn't fair. If they had given her the proper equipment that was necessary, like all of the men got, Brian, I think that she would have done just fine. So I'm not going to take any of your absurd Trump bashing or any of your absurd bashing of his bodyguards, who clearly did an amazing job. You saw the female sniper, the counter sniper. She was amazing. She did a great job.
Yeah.
You saw her, right?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see her actually. I didn't see. I thought.
You didn't see her?
No, I didn't see the female sniper.
That's because nobody saw her, because there's no such thing. But if there was, she would have done her job well.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Anyways, that's just crazy. The DEI and the Secret Service. Okay. Where were we? I don't know. We were talking about
Partying.
Oh, partying. Yeah.
Not putting yourself in situations, relationships.
Anyways, I guess we'll move things on a little bit here. We did have a couple things to react to from you, though. There was the TikTok. I guess you can pull that one up, Nick. It came up in the For You page. I think that's how we actually found you, but go ahead. From the... Oh, mute the audio, please. Yeah, I guess you can play it. When you date to marry, but every boy is a cheater, liar, isn't ready for a relationship, or lives off the planet. Okay, so, and so was this in reaction to the most recent guy, or what was this about somebody else?
No,
or?
I just did it because I felt like it.
I'm sure there's some truth to.
Well, I guess there's some truth to it. Obviously, not every guy on the planet isn't a liar, cheater, who lives off the face of the earth.
Yeah. Well, was this most recent guy? Did he cheat on you?
No.
Did he lie to you?
No.
Oh. He wasn't ready for a relationship? Is that kind of more so? Well, he was ready, right?
No.
Until you guys had a catastrophic argument about a vape.
I guess, yeah. I suppose.
Yeah. And then lives off the planet. What is that?
Like lives far away.
Like, would you hook up with an alien? Is kind of what you're talking
No, like I mean like lives far away.
I'd hook up with an alien.
Like
Sign me up.
Oh.
You wouldn't date an alien? Like, what about like an Avatar type alien?
I mean,
I'd hit.
No.
Okay, all right.
He's tall.
That's young.
So what is it? I guess what is it?
Short kings matter too.
What does it mean to live off the planet?
Like they just live far.
Oh, live far away.
That's
like,
just what.
Oh, okay. But so this guy, but it sounds like he was ready for a relationship. Then
I don't know if he was, if he wasn't, but ultimately he made the decision to end it.
Wait, let's role play the whole vape situation. So,
Oh my
okay, we're walking through the mall. Was he a white guy, Asian guy, black guy? What?
He's just a guy, like a white guy,
Like-
just a white guy.
White guy. Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
we weren't even like together. We were just texting. Okay.
All right. Okay, I'm
You're
Bobby.
the
I'm
guy.
the guy.
You're Bobby.
All right. Are we strolling through the mall? It was at the
We're
mall.
texting.
Oh, you're texting.
We were
and you
texting.
Said, okay. Hey, babe.
Okay, I'm like, hey.
Oh, so cool that you're a party promoter. I love it.
Okay. I was like,
Surfer guy?
It was like, no.
Okay.
It was like, okay, so the store I usually go to Cards Now, who is going to get me my vape? And then he was like, not me.
Not me.
He's like, not me.
That's what he said.
Well, he was just like, not me.
Not me. Okay.
Yeah, he was just like, not me. You're not. If I get you this.
If I get you this. I'm just repeating it. Go ahead.
He's like, if I get you this, it's kind of
Into the
illegal.
mic. Into the mic.
If I get you this, it's kind of illegal because
Valid.
you're not an adult yet. And
Okay.
I said, okay, well, you don't have to. I will just find another way to get it. And then he
Guilt trip.
was like, no, like, I'll get it for you, but I will feel bad because it is illegal. And I said, okay, then don't.
Did you call him a pussy?
No.
I mean, what a putz. This guy wasn't even willing to do criminal activity for you or anything. What a real piece of garbage this guy is.
I will say I did call him a bitch once. But
Oh,
that's-
bro, you
you
can't
can't
leave
do
that
that.
shit out. Wait, okay, hold on. What's the context here? Was this during the vape conversation?
Yes. Yes.
There shouldn't even be any
Bro.
context. You can't call a man a bitch.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
the respect is out the
Wait,
door.
let's hear the rest of it then. Go
I
ahead.
told
Okay.
him, I was like, if you don't want to get it, that's fine. But I'm my own person, and I would still like to get one.
Mhm.
I let him know, I was like, you're not my dad, and that I am my own person, and I will do what I want with the money that I have.
Well, I don't think he wasn't trying to prevent you from getting it, right? Or
No, he was just like, it's legal. I don't want to get it for you. Point
Yeah.
blank. Period.
But then you said, well, I'll get it from somebody else. But then he had safety concerns of like, I don't know, what can you like taint a vape? I don't know.
I don't know either.
But what was the context of you calling him a bitch?
Let me think.
Was it during the vape conversation?
Yes, it was.
Okay, what did he say then? What did you say in context?
I think it was because he just knew I vaped, and he knew it was like vaping is like a bad thing, and he wanted me to do it less. And so I let him know. I was like, okay, I will take that into consideration, but I am my own person, and I will do it if I want to. And then I think that's where I called him a bitch.
So what exactly did you say?
I said, I said, okay, I understand. Can you stop being a bitch?
Now we know the breakup.
Did you put Lil in there?
What?
L-I-L. Did you put Lil? Did you put Lil bitch?
I just put.
Or was it just bitch?
It was just a bitch.
So there's a couple things here.
You're not allowed to call guys bitches?
No.
No. It just feels like he was trying to do what was best for you. and
You have to understand, like, okay,
Yeah.
here's two
Like, he's a
things.
good
Hold
guy.
on. Two things. First off, this is one of the very, like, we spent about 5 minutes talking about it, but you withheld a very important piece of evidence that we could have used to prosecute you for your crime. No, but like, this is what people do. They'll downplay what they've done wrong, and they'll exaggerate what the other person's done wrong. Me personally, I've never done that ever. I always am totally 100% honest. If I did something wrong, I'll say it. I will paint a good, especially if I'm asking for advice.
Yeah.
I'll always be sure, okay, here's what I said, here's what they said. I won't leave certain details out to try to paint me in a better light. But you calling him a bitch is like the major, bro, a guy wants to feel respected by his girl. Respect is huge for men. Men will kill other men because other men disrespected them. won't even necessarily be about money. If a guy disrespects, I'm not saying all men will do this, but men will literally kill other men for feeling disrespected. And as your woman, he wants you to respect him. I mean, I think this goes both ways, but for men, like, respect is on a whole nother level. You don't respect your man if you're calling him a bitch.
It's respect is to men.
That's an
love
instant
is to
breakup.
women. Like,
There's no going back.
Yeah, no. There's like men put respect above love. So the way we want to receive love is that respect. So if you don't respect a man, you can't expect him to be a provider, protector, because he's like, he doesn't respect me. So why would I do any of these things for her?
Mm-hmm.
So the moment you call him a bitch, it's like that's like the cardinal rule you never do. If you want to break up with someone, call a man a bitch. Like, not even in a joke, not anything like that. But respect is literally the most important to a man, just like how we want to receive love. So yeah, I mean, that is the reason for the breakup. It's that I don't even think it has anything to do with you partying. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's the fact that he just doesn't feel respected. So
I find it interesting too that just kind of going back to the TikTok as well, that you're having a hard time finding like marriage or like these long-term relationships, but like for me, I would never call my husband that just because of that respect. So it makes me wonder if it's okay if you're not ready for marriage, but you're just maybe not ready for that long-term like committed relationship. You know what I mean? Just something.
Yeah, on the TikTok you wrote dating to marry, and dating to marry, like that's what I do. When I decide to date, I put myself out. I act like a wife, right? Because I'm trying to attract a husband. So if my actions don't align with what I want, then I'm not going to attract the guy that I want. So if you're saying dating for marriage, that's a big thing to say. If you're just having dating to date, cool, do whatever you want. But
No,
if
you
date,
can't even. You want a one-night stand. You can't call a guy
of course.
bitch either.
No, I'm not saying the bitch. That's a whole. That's absolutely a non-negotiable. That's like literally, no. But I'm saying like dating to marry, it's different. Like you really have to portray that person to attract that, because if you're partying, you're calling him, disrespecting him, and all that's like, that's not dating to marry. Like that's, no.
Do you think that when you said I'll get it from someone else, he thought you meant another guy, or was it truly about vaping? Because given that you were a partier, that's where my mind went right away.
When I said someone else, I was talking about like my friends mainly. Also, I didn't know it was, I don't know if it's just the younger generation, but I didn't know it was a cardinal rule not to call a guy a bitch. Like, I didn't know that.
It emasculates them.
Like, I really didn't know that.
Wait, let me ask you a question. If he called you a cunt, would that be chill with you? That'd be cool?
I think they...
Hold on, let's let her answer. Hold on.
I'm like trying to picture him calling me a cunt, and it's like not happening.
No, but the question is if he were to. We're not saying that he would. We're just saying if he did, would that have been okay with you?
No, of course not. So I guess I'm seeing the opposite.
Wait, so what is the culture though? Because you said you're 19, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, what is the culture? The culture is talking shit to men.
I'm 20. I'm here with you. Just
Yeah,
give
like
it to me, what you
everyone
talking
nowadays, they just talk shit about each other.
What?
Like, that's it.
But
Maddie?
maybe
That's why relationships don't last.
maybe that's why relationships aren't lasting.
Yeah.
There's the
Bro,
relationship.
what's wrong with Gen Z women? Get the fuck, bro. No way.
Well, I've
That's why
got a
everything's like
quick
so
follow-up
grass is
question.
greener. It's like there's
So
no
many
respect.
people
You guys are just ready to jump from one thing to another. There's no respect. There's no like core values. There's none of that. That's why there's relationships are.
Gen Z men start calling these women cunts. That is literally the. Oh, no. But you're trying to say that it's cool for like, oh, that's how it is. We just call men bitches.
I'm not saying
what?
that. I was just telling her I'm in that generation too, and I was going to say something.
You were co-signing.
No, I was saying I'm in that generation too. I'm 20 years old. I'm in that generation, but I do not agree with what you
Bro,
did.
there's no generation where any guy who's like actually worth anything is going to tolerate his girlfriend calling him a bitch.
I understand that. I feel the
there's
same
no-
exact way. I had a guy explain to me how he is going to call me a bitch because it's just a word, like, you my bitch. Like, no,
That's
I'm not.
different.
That,
Different
no,
context.
it's not different. It's
It's a
the
different
same.
context.
They're both bad things. You don't do that on either parts.
Yeah,
But even
I
with
agree. It's
you-
bad. It's whatever. Okay, go
No, I was gonna say even with you, when you're yelling at your man, you're literally emasculating him. You stood there for
whether you're frustrated or not, men do not listen if you're yelling at them. There's coming to your man for a solution, and there's coming at him. When you come at him, he's not going to listen. He's going to tune you out. There's no respect. So the way you speak to men, and it's funny because I feel like now generation, like you said, there's no good men. There's plenty of good men. It's because this generation emasculates men. You guys, it's the women aren't their masculine. Oh, this is where Jess and I will fire up. Where it's feminism has definitely ruined all of that. Where it comes to men being men, men step up. I don't know if you guys saw that article that there was some girl that was drowning and the guy saved her life, and then he was like, she was gonna sue him for touching her. It's like, this is, no, not even that. It was like, oh, he touched me without my consent. Bitch, you were under the water, you were dying. Like, he literally saved your life. And she's like, well, for a brief moment, I was grateful that I was alive. For a brief moment, you were grateful. This is why men don't step up, because when they do the right thing,
Nick, could you search
they
for
get
that
crucified.
story?
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
right?
it's literally that. So it's like, why should we try? If I try, like you said, I'm damned. If I don't, then it's like, so it literally comes, if you want better men, be better women, because it starts with you. How you act, how you carry yourself, how you talk to them. Treat a man like a king, he will treat you like a queen. Elevate him, respect him, and you'll get that. Because if you don't, then...
I want to say one thing. I got to say one thing. This is a public service announcement to whoever the youngest person is who's watching this. You could be Gen Z, you could be 16, 17, 18, all the way to whatever age. You could be...
Well, the youngest person watching this right now is 8 months old.
Oh, it is.
It's true.
There you go. Is it a boy? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a boy.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's advice for the boy in here who's cooking. All right. Public service announcement. If your girl calls you a bitch, that is an insta breakup. You just say, even if you're in person with her, you just say, this conversation is over. You need to leave. That's the end. You don't, no further conversation. The relationship is over. You're done. You tell her to leave. She's at your place. Get out. Conversation's over. Delete her number, whatever you have to do. But yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap if a girl calls
I've got two follow-up questions here. One for you, and then one for the girl with the picnic dress. So the
She's
first
a walking
question
red flag.
for you say often, well, I wanted to go to these parties to hang out with my friends. I wanted to go there to hang out with my friends. My friends are all there. Did you happen to have any exes who went to these parties as well?
No.
None?
None.
No dating interest at all?
No. They never went to these parties.
All right. And then over to picnic dress. You say, no, it's the same thing. When a man calls a woman a bitch is when a woman calls a man a bitch. Would you say that if a man and you were sleeping together and in the throes of passion, you would say something like, suck it, bitch, right? Or something like that, that would hit the same way?
I could care less what any of these pedestrian parasites have to say. Tonight's show should be an emergency meeting dedicated to Trump. Cancelled, convicted and shot. Everyone better vote Trump. Raised fist.
What's up, Mike Davis? Good to see you in the chat, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it would have been good if we did a stream yesterday. Go ahead, Andrew.
Would you say that would hit the same way? If in the throes of passion he said something like that, he said something like called you a bitch or something like this, wouldn't that be a little more excusable?
In the throes of passion? Do you mean like during like...
Yeah.
No, that's never okay. I feel like that's when I'm my like purest, like most like intimate self. I feel like you should treat me with that same respect as well. Like I am like my most like naked, innocent. Like I need that same reaction, like kindness.
So you're going at it hot and heavy. It's like, take it, bitch. You think that that's him trying to insult you?
No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm being honest, right? Because when you say, wait, it's always the same. It always hits the same. Clearly, there's instances where the word is used where the context always matters, right? So it's not going to hit men the same way as it's going to hit women any more than somebody who was into getting degraded while they're having intercourse. They might not like being called a bitch outside of that setting, but inside of it, maybe they're fine with it, right?
No, it's not okay. It's not okay inside of that setting or outside, because in that setting, you're most connected. So if you allow that in a situation where you're most connected, like you can't not expect it in every other situation.
No, but that's called boundaries. That's when you communicate what you want. If you're a freak in the bedroom and you want to be thrown around, called names, or whatever it is, it stays there. And then when you're outside, that's different. It's completely different context. But men, regardless, you do not call a man a bitch. Like, period.
Well, that would be weird if you were like in the bedroom. You're like, you're a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, unless he's into that. I mean, the bedroom, I think is different.
Never met a guy who's into that.
Yeah, but I mean, I still wouldn't even do that.
I would not let him speak to me while
like
we're
pegging for men.
having a sexual intercourse. It may not
You're with the
roam.
wrong person.
It may not roam the
Oh,
disrespect.
come on. You're stalking through his family forever. He's going to call you whatever the hell he wants in the bedroom, and you ain't going to say a word about it, right? Like, that's the
Because he
truth.
still hasn't learned to respect me outside of the bedroom. That's what I was
okay.
explaining to you earlier, is that as much as I wanted to be there, as much as I was putting myself in the positions to be around him, I still didn't be like with him because I knew that there was no respect there. And what
Okay,
I'm
well,
saying
let's try
is
this a different way then.
regardless of if like a woman likes to be talked to a certain type of way in the bed, you're asking me and I'm telling you that I don't and I would not allow it because I don't allow it outside of the bedroom. And that those are
Okay,
my
well, let's try it a different way then. Let's see if these two things hit the same way, okay? So let's say that you called your man daddy in front of your father.
That's crazy. I would never do that.
Yeah, but
My
if you did.
dad, you need a trip. What?
Do you think that might, even though you call your father dad, right, or something, some variation of this, don't you think it might hit him a little differently the second we have different context around this?
I would never do that. My dad has called me.
No. The point isn't whether or not you would do it. The point is whether or not you could see how there would be different context and why it would be bothersome even if you're using the same word.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that like outside of just me and him. Like I know I'm telling you guys like I called him Fat Daddy, but I wouldn't call him that in front of other people. Like I would call
If
him
you called your dad Fat Daddy, would it hit him a little different, do you think?
Yes, it would because I don't see
Yes,
my
it
dad
would.
like
So
that.
context matters. Context
but I
matters.
wouldn't call my
so
dad
he went over to
Fat
your dad and you're like,
Daddy. I
hey,
would call
Fat
him
Dad,
Daddy. I
here,
would call
have a
him
sandwich I
Daddy.
made you, Fat Dad. He's not
would
going to take
call
it the
him
same,
Daddy.
right?
My dad was never fat, so I wouldn't call him that. I specifically called my ex that because he used to be fat when we got together.
No, I get it, but if you went to your father and you were like, hey, I made you this delicious sandwich on this nice Saturday so you can relax. Here you go, Fat Dad. Do you think that he would take it the same way that your ex? No, of course not, right? No way.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at here.
What I'm
but
trying to
I
get at
wouldn't
is that
use
the reason I'm saying you can use the same word and it can be more derogatory towards one person than it is another is because context matters. That's why when Brian says, look, he disagrees. If you say bitch to a woman, it doesn't hit the same as when you say it to a man. Context matters.
I wasn't disagreeing with that, though. I was saying that it's
You
both
did
bad.
disagree.
No, I said that calling a woman a bitch is terrible and calling a man a bitch is terrible. I feel like those are both
Yeah, but no, you said they're equal. They're not equal. They hit
equal
differently.
disrespect. That's how I feel. Is that
It's not equally disrespectful because it hits them different. Just like it would hit your dad different if you called him
but they're
Fat Daddy
both
versus your ex, you see?
They're both disrespectful, though. There's a difference. They're both disrespectful. You shouldn't be putting disrespect on a level
No,
of
they're
how
only disrespectful depending on context. And I just gave you multiple times where there could be context where you use a word where it's not considered disrespectful. Perhaps your pet name for a chick, like you called this guy Fat Daddy, is Dumb Bitch. Maybe that's your pet name for her. Hey, Dumb Bitch, come over here. And she just loves that. Is that disrespectful then?
That is disrespectful. He allowed
It's still
me to
disrespectful even though, but calling your
But
ex
he
Fat Daddy isn't. Okay.
He allowed me to call him that. That was something that we talked about and something that he was okay with.
Yeah, so
you're
if
having
she's
these
okay with it,
conversations-
then hang on. If she's okay with it, then how can it be disrespectful?
Because he wasn't okay with it. It has
Yeah,
to be a
no. Listen to what I'm asking you.
communication
If you
has to
have
be
a
okay on
situation,
both
stop talking for a second, because you're not. The reason I'm asking you to stop is because you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
A guy and a girl agree. He says, my new pet name for you is Dumb Bitch, and she goes, yay! I love being called that. It's great, right? It's my favorite. Is it still disrespectful for him to call her that?
If she allowed it, then that's fine. What I'm saying
Right,
is,
that's my point, is that within the frame of context, different words hit people differently.
And the bottom line is, you just don't call a guy a bitch. Unless you want to.
Now here, I'll give you the best example ever, like the easiest example ever, right? Hang on. I think we can agree. I think we're going to be able to agree.
If someone feels disrespected,
Hey, you stop prattling. Just listen. Stop prattling. Because you don't get it. You don't get it. Just stop prattling for a second. You're still prattling. Stop prattling. Stop prattling. You're still prattling. Stop it. Stop prattling.
So if someone tells me something and they feel disrespected, then it's disrespectful. But if they say it's okay, then that's okay on
Look,
their end.
hold on. I'm moderating this conversation. If I tell anybody to stop talking, I need you to stop talking.
Yes.
Okay. So because what's going to happen, Andrew's going to say his piece, you'll have a chance to respond. Let him say his thing, then you can speak. Go ahead.
So I'm just going to give you the easiest example of this ever, so that there's no confusion at all. Would it hit a black person differently if a white person called them the N-word than if a black person called them the N-word?
I've been having this conversation a lot with the people around me.
Thank you, Stacey.
Wait, am I able
Welcome,
to-
everyone.
Okay. I've been having this conversation a lot with the people around me. A recent coworker of mine, he told me that it is just as disrespectful, because if it's a degrading word when someone else says it, then it's a degrading word when we say it to each other. So yes, it's disrespectful on both
That's not my question. My question isn't whether or not it's disrespectful. My question is, would it hit differently if a white person called a black person the N-word versus if a black person called a black person the N-word? Wouldn't it hit differently?
No, it would hit the same.
It hits the same. You're so full of shit. Nobody's ever going to believe that in a million years.
No, but you're not listening to what I just said. I just had a conversation with a previous coworker of mine, and I called him a nigga, and he said, that's very disrespectful. I said, no, it would have been disrespectful if somebody who wasn't able to say that said that to you. He let me know that that's disrespectful for me to say that to him as well, because if it's degrading on somebody else saying it, then it's degrading on me.
So are you going to stop listening to rap music?
It's not. Wait, you're not letting me finish though. What I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, listen to listen how illogical this is. That's like saying, "Oh, I'm not going to listen to rap music anymore because it says the word in it."
Let me just finish what I was saying. What I'm saying
Go ahead.
is that I didn't think like that before. I thought exactly what you're expecting me to think right now. But when someone had the conversation with me and they let me know that it's just as degrading for me to say it to him, knowing that I'm the same race as him, for someone else to say it to him and they're a different race, that changed my mindset. That changed my perspective on it, because it is true.
I got
if
it.
someone else
I
were
get
to
it.
say that, I need to take that same initiative and understand.
Yeah, I know.
that
I get it. You don't have to reaffirm the same point 5 times. I get it. I just want to very quickly follow up with this. Do you think that if you were to ask 1,000 random black people in the street, just 1,000 random black people, would it hurt you worse if a white person called you the N-word than if a black person called you the N-word? How many of them do you think would say yes? Most? Very few? How many?
I want to say I'm not exactly sure, because I was like that. That's what you're not understanding though. I was the person who thought exactly what you're saying. Like, okay, if a white person calls me a nigga, it's bad. But if a black person calls me a nigga, it's okay.
This is getting TOS, Andrew. This is getting TOS, Andrew.
I was able to change my mindset, because when I did that to someone, they let me know that it's just as degrading.
The thing with this,
So
you're
if
not
there were
listening,
more
though. You're not
people-
listening. Listen, let me tell what he's asking. Your mindset has changed, right?
That's
I
what I'm
respect
saying.
that. That's
So
cool, but
more
that's not what
people
he's
can
saying.
have a changed mindset. We never know until we talk to them.
You're right, but that's not the question. The question is the basic black and white. It's literally if a white person calls you the N-word versus a black person, it's a lot more. Like,
but
in
not
the debriefing,
everyone
when they
is
say
gonna
you have the
think like
card,
that.
yeah, I get it.
All right, I'm moving it on. I'm moving it on. I'm moving it on. I'm moving it on. Okay, Nick, was there something we were pulling up? Oh, we'll come back to that actually. I'm going to bring it back to, stay safe. I don't know if you're still watching. Thank you for the raid, man. Much appreciated. Pull up Twitch really quick. Guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow and a Prime sub. Stay safe. Thank you so much for the big raid, man. I hope you had a good stream. Hope I know you're rating over there on SOD Phase 4. Appreciate it, bro. Guys, if you're watching on Twitch, drop us a follow on Twitch. If you're from Stay Safe, drop us a follow. And if you have a Prime sub, drop us a Prime sub. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so back to you. In your TikTok, you said when you date to marry. So, I mean, for you, what does it mean to date to marry?
You date to marry.
What do you mean?
Well, like,
Thank you, AB Check.
You date someone to potentially end up marrying them.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like to you? Like, how do you carry yourself in a relationship to date to marry versus just date to date?
Well, I don't know. I've never been married.
Well, obviously, I've never been married either, but there's characteristics. So, like, let's say, what is your ideal? If you pictured your husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are those characteristics? If you, as a wife, as someone who wants to be married, what are the characteristics that you think you should have to date to marry? Or, like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, if I picture my husband and me as a wife, I would picture me as caring, loving, takes care of things around the house while also trying to make income, because in the future I want to live in a household that has dual income if possible. Does that make sense?
What do you look for in a man?
What do I look for in a man? I would say someone who's stable, I guess. All I really look for is stability. Like if you can keep a job and I don't want to feel something like that.
Can I ask you something? So the guy that you said broke up with you, he refused to buy you a vape. He obviously wasn't totally okay with you vaping, and he didn't want to buy it for you because he didn't essentially want to break the law. So isn't that a green flag in a man? Because that shows that he takes care of himself and he's also, willing to like be straight as far as following the law, doing all of those things right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe you kind of have to change the way that you're putting yourself out there, and you will find that man that you mentioned in the TikTok without moving. Because I know you mentioned that a lot of them like live far away. Mm-hmm. So do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was actually a good point because, I mean, one of the things with the vape, in addition to it being illegal, it sounded like he had an issue with your, are you addicted to nicotine?
No, I could quit if I wanted to.
You could quit if you're,
like,
how often do you vape?
I'm planning on not vaping when school starts again.
Do the vape cartridges, do they have nicotine?
Yes.
Okay, so you could quit if you wanted to?
Yeah.
Why do you want to quit?
When school starts, yes.
Why is that?
Just because I know that I've been doing it for a long while, and I see that since it's not affecting the outside of my body, I don't see it as a bad thing, but I know internally it's hurting me, so I want to quit once school starts.
But, I mean, so this guy who, he didn't want to do something illegal, but he also wanted to see you do something healthy by quitting the vaping. Wouldn't that be like husband material, positive characteristic?
Well, yeah, it was positive, but regardless, I still wanted to do it, and I hoped that he would understand that.
Right, but he was trying to do something like, he was trying to help you, he was looking out for you.
He was trying to help me.
Yeah, and you punished him for it.
Do you think
you called him a bitch and got into an argument?
Do you think that maybe it was because you felt like he was controlling that aspect of your life and you didn't like that feeling?
It did, because in the argument, he was making it a point that since I was younger than him, I was naive, and I didn't like that.
What was the age gap? How old is he?
He's 20.
And you're 19?
Well, I mean, that's not a massive age thing, but
yeah.
I mean, was he wrong though?
No, I don't.
Well, you said that you were naive. Why? For vaping? For being addicted to, no offense, Andrew, being addicted to nicotine?
Well, I guess, yeah.
Isn't that typically a bad thing?
Well, like, at this day, who doesn't vape anymore? Like me,
I don't.
who doesn't vape?
I vaped at one point and then I didn't, like, literally. Cause
I don't know if everybody was shooting up heroin would.
But the thing, the logic of it doesn't make sense. If you already know that it's not good for you, why not cut it now and wait till school? Like, it's just, I think the mentality of it is you want to do what you want to do, and it comes to
I don't want to say insecurity, but it's like thinking that it's control when somebody wants something good for you. It's like, I want to do what I want to do. And I'll be honest, in my 20s, I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I don't want to be told what I want to do. Because it's that stubborn, you still have you want to be your independent woman, don't tell me what to do. But really, when it comes down to it, if you're looking for a husband is a leader, is somebody that, I think there's that word of submit, which triggers a lot of people. But when you come to, if you want a husband who's a true leader, true provider, then you trust him to relinquish control and trust that he's going to make the right decisions for you. You submit to that man in a sense that he's going to take care of me, and the decisions that he's making for me is the best decisions for us, for me. So in that sense, you trust him. Like, you know what, you're right. Partying is not a good look for me. Vaping is not a good look for him, because all those things are going to make you better. And that is the qualities that you do want in a man, because he's making the right decisions he's basically investing in your future, because he's like, I want this woman and I want the best version of her, because in relationships you make each other better. So those are qualities that you should look for. And I think you say you want to date to marry, you're not even remotely ready for that. But I think it's just a matter of working on yourself and realizing that when you truly want a man, you have to be ready to, if he's the right man that leads, protects, all of that, then you can submit to him and trust him to make decisions for you.
So you had an issue with him trying to, you said like it was controlling or whatever? Or
It felt like that in a sense.
he was trying to control you? Like how so?
Well, like I said before, he made it a point that since I was younger than him, that I wouldn't listen, I was naive, I was stubborn.
Well, were you?
I don't know. I was just like very upset in the moment. So do girls get naive and stubborn when they're upset?
Some do.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, there's a difference between bossing and leading too. So I mean, it just goes back and forth. It's just a matter of what you wanted. It's like you didn't want that relationship period, like realistically.
Wait, does he vape? Does he smoke weed at all?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So it wasn't necessarily a health thing. It was just you're underage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of changes.
Well, take a little bit of a flag back.
It is pretty unfortunate. Like, the U.S. was actually doing pretty, in terms of its, no offense, Andrew, was moving towards this very anti-tobacco, like it was super stigmatized throughout the 2000s, but then like vaping came on in early 2010s.
Yeah, we've been trying to change that slowly but surely.
But super stigmatized, and then the vapes came in and pretty much destroyed like a generation basically, and got them hooked on nicotine. Interesting.
I used to smoke cloves. I don't even think you guys know what that is, but it's like the genre. It's like basic cigars.
I know what cloves are.
Yeah, so I used to smoke before, like when they used to crackle, like back in the day, and like when you smoke, it's like
and all those.
in the social settings you smoke, but when you're vaping, you're 24/7. You're like pumping those things in your lung, whether it's zero nicotine or it has anything. It's crazy, because there was a time that I was like, I started doing the vaping too, and I was like, I feel like I'm doing it way more than I would have smoked. It's better if I smoke than vape.
Yeah.
Anyways, going back to your original TikTok, you also said, when you date to marry, but every boy is a cheater, liar. So have you had personal experiences of men like cheating on you or lying?
Yes.
Okay. How many men would you say you've dated who've cheated on you?
Just one.
Oh, just one?
Just one.
And then how many men have you dated who didn't cheat on you?
Like 3.
Oh, okay.
I guess I was.
So I guess not every
I was
boy is a
over
cheater.
exaggerating in the TikTok.
Yeah. Also, there was another TikTok. The lonely meme, we haven't pulled that up in a while. So like when women say that they're like lonely, can't find a boy, can't find a guy, should be on the tabs. Yeah, this is kind of like I think this is women's experience. Oh, I can't find a guy. I'm so lonely. You've got like 10 suitors, dozens of suitors, but you just reject them.
It's because women have such high expectations of, unrealistic high expectations of men, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you want to expand on that? Or?
I just think that, social media, I think, plays a lot into this, but, even, I own a salon, so you probably know this, lots of women coming through, lots of conversations, and it's just, he isn't tall enough, he doesn't make enough money, he's not this, he's not that, and it's like, what happened to meeting a genuine person and growing together? Personally, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Word?
Not everyone's
Okay.
perfect.
Back to you. I think there's another TikTok. You said, don't lead people on for 3 months, bro. Hashtag wasted 3 months of my life. Was that the same, this guy?
That one was about the same guy.
But so you feel like he led you on?
He said himself that he led me on.